I'm Adam and this is Reel Rivalries, the show where we pit two movies head to head and let you decide the winner. It's all about the feels today as Inside Out goes up against Soul. I'll quickly be breaking down the characters, the stories, their little worlds, and the assembly of it all. Let's talk about the colorful characters first. Inside Out is full of emotions, quite literally, as Pixar gives us a glimpse into the mind of Riley. The 11-year-old makes good use of all her emotions, with Joy occupying the main spot. I can't think of many actresses more capable of playing Joy than Amy Poehler. Joining her are a couple of Office alums, Mindy Kaling as Disgust and Phyllis Smith as Sadness. She's utilized her many years of Michael Scott insults to bring this character to tears. The rest of the cast is just as great, with Bill Hader playing Fear and Lewis Black appropriately voicing Anger. Unlike Riley, I haven't forgotten about Bing Bong, voiced by Richard Kind.
Take her to the moon for me, okay?
That one's still fresh! Good night, sweet prince. There's also a creepy clown named Jangles that shows up to give the kids a few scars before the movie ends. On the Soul side of things, we follow a middle-aged band teacher named Joe, voiced by Jamie Foxx. Joining him on his soul-searching adventure is Tina Fey's character 22, a soul with a passion for nothing, but a clever retort for everything. These two have to put up with a bunch of Jerrys in the before life, and are constantly being sleuthed after by Terry, voiced by Rachel House. Along their journey, they'll meet up with a hippie soul named Moonwind, who pirates a ship through a sea of lost souls. When Joe is back on Earth, he gets the privilege of hanging out with his mother, a jazz band, and his local barber. I think it's more than fair to say we have a good selection of characters from both films. I'm gonna give this round a tie. Pixar's never been afraid to shy away from more mature themes in their storytelling. Inside Out and Soul respect their audience enough to know they can handle a bit deeper commentary than, say, singing about the summer. Inside Out follows the thoughts and feelings of Riley as she moves away from my stomping ground here in Minnesota to the pizza-ruining city San Francisco. The loss of close friends, hockey, and a familiar day-to-day leave her full of emotions. That's where our parallel protagonist Joy comes into play. Riley's life has been drastically altered, which means her feelings are as well. Her previously good memories are becoming sad or pushed aside, causing Joy to frantically attempt to keep things in order. Riley's whole emotional system starts to break down, leaving Joy no choice but to travel deep into Riley's memories in order to fix her state of well-being. Since sadness is seemingly ruining everything, Joy has her tag along for the ride. As the movie winds down, it's revealed that sadness was actually the key to happiness all along. Inside Out is an incredibly smart story that manages to break down some pretty complex issues in a way that all ages can understand. The director and writer Pete Docter tries to do the same thing again with Soul. Soul gives itself an even more sizable goal, to tell the beginning and end of a person's journey. Just like Inside Out, Soul bounces between both worlds, showing the events of the living with that of the afterlife. The story revolves around Joe Gardner, who feels unfulfilled with his life as a teacher. He always dreamt about being a jazz musician, and as luck would have it, position just opened up. A pretty big one too, to play for jazz legend Dorothy Williams. Gardner's a real talent on the piano, which is more than proved to the band during his audition. After years of hard work and determination, our protagonist has finally made it. The movie ends with the character dancing and living happily ever after. No, I'm joking. Gardner falls down a manhole and dies on impact. Presumably. He finds himself on a slow-moving conveyor belt of sorts on its way up to the great beyond. Unsatisfied with this foregone conclusion, he breaks from the path and ends up back at the beginning, or great before, if you must. The movie must, that's what they call it. It's here where he meets 22, a soul with no real desire to get started with life. He poses as an instructor, eventually learning his body is still in one piece, lying comatose in a hospital bed. With the help of a spiritual guide named Moondance, he's able to return back to Earth. Just not in the way he expects. I don't know what happened to my voice there. Let's keep going. He and 22 have themselves a good old-fashioned Freaky Friday situation, as Joe ends up in the body of a cat instead of his own. As all this is happening, a soul counter named Terry is trying to track down the missing number in his never-ending tally. As 22 experiences the amazing little things everyday life has to offer, she realizes it's time to make this house a home. It's very short-lived though once Terry catches up and quickly takes them back. Eventually, Joe finds a way to return, gives one heck of a piano performance, pulls 22 out of her lost state, and gets a second chance to live a full life. I commend the work done to attempt to tell a story this complex for all ages. I do think it falls apart a little bit in the end. The whole body swap is really played out at this point and stretched far too long. This round's gonna have to go to Inside Out. See no other way around it. Few studios know how to build out worlds quite like Pixar does. Their ever-growing catalog features humorous characters, creative environments, and wonderful music. Inside Out and Soul are not the exceptions to the rule, but the continuation. There is a world of emotions and memories contained in every living creature in Inside Out. The memories are individually housed within orbs that are categorized and filed away. Full islands are erected to represent a being's favorite things. In Riley's case, we got things like hockey, goofball, of course, family, friendship, honesty, those are the ones I memorized, and plenty more to come as she gets older. In this world, memories can be forgotten or start to fade over time. In one such heartbreaking scene, we witness the removal of her imaginary friend Bing Bong. Here they come again! Oh, Bing Bong, here come the tears again. Okay, there is a train of thought, a dream studio, abstract thoughts, which include a danger zone, and a bunch of other clever ideas presented in fun ways. Like killing an imaginary friend. I'm sorry. Soul almost feels related to Inside Out. Perhaps not siblings, but like second cousins. The souls have a similar glowing style to them, although their personalities aren't near as wild. We don't get to see the great beyond, only the destination there, which is just a large, empty void carrying the passengers to the light. We do, however, see the great before. It's comprised of blues, purples, whites, and a softness to everything. The transparent leadership helps shepherd inhabitants into different pavilions where they will hopefully find their spark for life. There is a danger zone in Soul as well, simply referred to as the zone. They got rid of danger in the title, so it's shorter. It's here where the lost souls roam aimlessly, becoming untethered from reality. It was a clever idea to include not just those that have become too depressed to be motivated, but also those that have gotten lost in their own obsessions, thereby losing grip on everything else around them. The Doctor is in, but I don't think Pete crafted quite the magical experience he did when it comes to Inside Out. Takes another win. Typically, when it comes to the assembly or the production of films, it's pretty easy to point out a thing here or there, but these two films were done by basically the same creative department. Visually, they're both striking films that look like they could take place in the same universe. The creative team has said nay to this, but there is no denying the visual symmetry between these two pictures. It's palpable. Soul is newer, which means it has even more polish and detail than the already rich Inside Out. It even has enough jazz numbers to make Barry B. Benson happy. I'm sorry. Every time I hear the word jazz, I think of the stupid Bee movie and that meme.
You like jazz?
John Batiste composed 16 new songs for the film, with additional music from Atticus Ross and of course Trent Reznor. You heard me. Trent Reznor. Michael Giacchino's back with Pixar for round 5, scoring Inside Out. His music reflects the full range of emotions seen and heard throughout the picture. The score, along with the final act, dare you to hold back the tears of joy as Riley confronts the reality of what is going on. You let Bing Bong die, man. That's like pulling the trigger yourself. While the hustle and bustle of New York City is always a treat to see animated, Inside Out's dreamlike carnival world is just as engaging. Had Riley and her family spent a little bit more time here in Minnesota, maybe I would have tipped the hat that way, but as it stands, it's a tie. Unlike a lot of animated films, these two in particular don't feel like they need to pander to the lowest common denominator. Instead, the Pixar team goes out of their way to challenge themselves with tough material that could easily have failed. In the case of Inside Out, well, it was soul-crushingly good. Soul had the right ideas in place, but seemed unsure of itself in the last act. You heard my 2 cents, now I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment with your winner, like the video if you had a little bit of fun here, and I'll see you next time on another Reel Rivalries. Thanks for watching The Rivalry. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and comment with your episode winner. If you're a fan of movie debates, feel free to subscribe to ScreenRant for more Reel Rivalries and much, much more.